Welcome to February edition of the Kahoot 101. There's quite a few of you that are going to join today. So we're going to start with a Kahoot. So if you can see my screen okay, you should be able to look at the game pin to join. I'm joined today in the chat by my colleague Anna Escandon, who works alongside me here in the CEST department in the APAC EMEA Kahoot at Work team. So you can easily join the game by scanning the QR code or by entering the game pin. You'll also find in the chat that the game pin is in there as well. And I'll leave the game pin visible throughout the game so you can join at any time. So I'll give you a couple of minutes to join. I'm super excited to have you here for this February edition. We'll start the Kahoot in a few minutes, but I know there's quite a few of you here today. So as I said, we'll give you the opportunity to join at any time throughout the game. So feel free to join a bit later if you like. I'll just check the chat. Hi, Lars. Okay, so I'll just give everyone a few more minutes and then I think we can start the game. Got some exciting things to look at today. We'll just turn up the volume a little bit. Be a little bit more energized. Okay, so I'm going to do a bit of a false start today. So a bit of a pro tip. We'll see you in a minute. Here we go. I'm going to go into full screen mode and I'm going to start. Okay, so a bit of a winter theme here. It's still winter in Norway. Spring hasn't quite begun yet. So hence the snowman is still here. So where are you joining from today? This is a global webinar. So we're always super excited to see people joining from lots of different places in the world. This word cloud is a really quick way of getting information from a lot of people. Yeah, so super excited to see where you're coming from today. Maryland, USA, Michigan, USA. Wow. Well, lovely to see you at this time of the morning, and Poland as well. So quite a lot of people from across the water, and Denmark. I wonder who that is. So yes, we also have an office in Denmark. I'm based in the Oslo office here in Norway. So very nice to see people joining from all over the States as well. Okay, so this webinar is an introduction to Kahoot. What we want you to get from this is to experience training through a live Kahoot, see the different question types, the different ways that you can use Kahoot, and hopefully get some inspiration. And also how to create a Kahoot, learn how to host Kahoots as well as live and self-paced engagements, and have fun. And just a little message in the chat. Yeah, I can see a hand raised from Samantha. Go ahead, Samantha.
I somehow kicked myself out of the game, so I don't know if I need to get back in, but oh, I see the pin on the bottom. Perfect.
Okay, no worries. All right. So we'll just wait for Samantha to come back. Thankfully, there are no points being awarded at this time. So we're all good. Alrighty. And feel free to like anything you see here. I have enabled emojis on all of the slides throughout the Kahoot. So this is a nice little feature that we have. Yep. So without further ado, you may have guessed that Kahoot is more than just a quiz. So for the Harry Potter fans out there, you might recognize this platform. What Kahoot is it's a global learning platform company that wants to empower everyone to unlock their full learning potential. Essentially, we want to make learning fun and awesome. And that also extends to at work. So we want to help you make training, presentations, meetings, and events even more engaging. So what I want to know is a little bit of an icebreaker question. How are you feeling today? So if you're on your mobile device, just move the image around and that should take you to the place where you're feeling today. I know for some of you, it's maybe a little early in the morning. Maybe you're not in your second or your third coffee or tea yet. So it's okay. Just feel how you feel, but share it with us. Sorry. Okay. I think that's about everyone. So I can just move to the end of the timer on this question by pressing skip. So let's see. Oh, that's great. Somebody's feeling super cool. Well, a lot of you are feeling super cool. Somebody's in love today. Must have been post-Valentine's. Yeah, so I love your vibes and I love your energy this morning, especially from those of you that are joining us a little farther away. Yeah, just take the opportunity to open up the chat. Okay, no problem, Samantha. We get it. All right, I should have muted. All right, so we've got a bit of a mixed audience today. In order to get the most out of this webinar, what I want to know is, how well do you know Kahoot? So it's a poll question. There are no points for this poll question. It's really a good way of getting feedback from all of you. And fun fact, I'm a bit of a fan of Curb Your Enthusiasm. So, yeah. But it's always nice to see how much people know about Kahoot. Give me a good idea of the audience. And that was quick. Okay, so some of you only know the name. Well, welcome. It's great to see you here. And we're super excited to hopefully let you discover more about Kahoot. For those of you that have played it, hopefully we'll get you to start creating and hosting your own Kahoots. And for those of you that have played and hosted it and love it, hopefully we can teach you a little bit more today on how to get the most out of your Kahoot account. And to that end, what I want to know is, do you currently have a Kahoot subscription? And the reason why I ask this is because there may be some features that you see today that you may not currently have on your subscription. I just want to know how many of you that applies to. And wow, that was quick. Fantastic. Okay, so most of you have a paid account and some of you don't. Well, for those of you that don't, hopefully whatever I'm showing you today is interesting. And again, please feel free to post your questions in the chat. I'll try to come back to that every few Kahoot questions or so. Okay, so an open-ended question. What I want to know is, what are you hoping to get out of this training webinar session? I know you have varying levels of Kahoot. I guess if there's something that maybe we can focus on in the live demo where I walk you through the platform, that would be great. And isn't this much quicker than asking each of you individually? Maybe you want some inspiration about different ways to use Kahoot, maybe different ways to play Kahoot. Maybe you don't always do it in the right setting. Get some inspiration from you guys. The first will be recorded, so maybe there's something you want to watch again. A little bit of time to think, and that's why I give you more to answer. Okay. I think we're good now at 14. So yeah, then let's have a look at the answers. Fantastic. Okay. So as you might see here, some of the keywords have been highlighted for me. So that makes it very easy to kind of hone in on what it is that you want to get out of this training. So a lot of general information, learn more, know what you don't know, self-taught. I love a good autodidact. Better understanding of Kahoot. Yeah, definitely. These are things that we're going to cover today. Yeah. Some of the things that we're going to do today might be a little bit light, but we do have an in-depth webinar series that's hosted every month called our Deep Dive. So I can give you some information about that later. So maybe for better things like more interactive presentations. That is a topic that we will cover in future webinars. But thank you so much for that. Okay, so for those of you who maybe don't know, built into the Kahoot platform, you have many slides that you can use alongside the question types. So there are about 10 slide layouts that are available for you, but you can also embed your Kahoot into your PowerPoint files, or you can even import your PowerPoint files or PDFs into Kahoot. So that's something that I'll show you a little bit later. And hopefully this provides you with some inspiration. So a little bit of a poll, multi-select. How have you been using Kahoot for work? For those of you who've actually been using it. Super curious to see what your answers are. I know some of you haven't used it before at work, and that's okay. If you want, you can skip the question. There are no points for this. It's a poll. It's just to gather feedback from you. Just another second, and let's have a look. Okay, well, that's fantastic to see. So a lot of you are already using it for presentations and meetings, onboarding and upskilling. So it's a good mix of use cases here. And for some of you who maybe didn't realize you could use it for things other than presentations and meetings, hopefully this will provide you with some inspiration. We do indeed have customers that are using it for team communication and culture, onboarding and upskilling. So there are lots of different ways that you can use Kahoot for work. Okay, and if you didn't know, and this is something that I'm super excited to show you, there are built-in templates and AI tools to help you create your Kahoot. So sometimes if you're a little bit stuck and you need inspiration, we have something to help you. And did you know that you can also assign self-paced Kahoots? Why? Well, many good reasons. You can conduct pre- and post-event surveys, before and after training knowledge checks, give everyone the chance to share their ideas in a brainstorm session in their own time, and also to have non-trainer-led knowledge updates. So this is an example of a Kahoot that's on our discovery section, and this has been created by the Kahoot at Work team, where you can do a Kahoot on women in leadership. So you can play this live, you can assign it, or you can play it solo. So the moment you've all been waiting for, show you the good stuff. So I will ask you not to sign out of the game, although there haven't been any points thus far. We will come back to this afterwards. Again, what I want to do here is to take you through the platform at least for Kahoot 360 at work, and we can have a little bit of a look at that together. So I'm just going to exit out of the screen here and have a little bit of a look at the chat. Okay. You didn't have an option for games team building. We use it in a town hall, but oh, thank you. That's really good feedback, Deborah. Thank you for telling us that. Yeah. So what I'm taking you into here is my library. So where I'm sitting right now is in my team space, not my private space. I highly recommend that if you're going to collaborate with your team, you go into the team space because it's a great place to share content, collaborate with other people on your team, organize folders into different subject areas. So as you can see here, in the team folders, I have different themes running through that: communications, presentations, surveys, and training. Yep, a question from the chat. Not been able to get in. My computer needs an update. That's okay, Judy. This is being recorded, so you should be able to watch the first 15 minutes of this, perhaps I think by tomorrow. So it'll be sent to you afterwards. Yeah, so what I'm going to take you to here, as you can see, this is the Kahoot that you've been playing, the Kahoot 101, February 28th edition. But how to create a Kahoot. So simply going into your library, you can press the create button. I'm just going to start with a Kahoot today. I'm going to keep it quite simple. And within that, you can see that there are different ways that you can start to create your Kahoot. So you can either use the question generator, as you can see that you can use questions that are in a PDF file. You've got a PDF file with lots of information, then you can upload that. We also have a question generator that uses an AI tool to generate questions for you. You can also use pre-made templates or start from scratch. The nice thing is, regardless of whatever way you choose to use Kahoot, you can always use these options while you are creating your Kahoot. But what I want to show you is the template section. The reason being is, if you're looking for any inspiration or any other ways to use a Kahoot and you're not quite sure where to start, well, this is a great place to look. Here you'll get some inspiration for anything from product development surveys to an onboarding selfie, which I did myself when I joined Kahoot, right up to event energizers and team award ceremonies. So these are some of the great ways that you can use Kahoot at work. And just for fun, let's say, for example, I want to have my first Kahoot at work. I click on this and it's great. I go into the template and it already gives me the question types, polls, slides. I can move these around like Lego. I can even add questions if I like. So as you can see here, there are lots of different question types. You can have some to test knowledge and assessment, but others to collect opinions, depending on what sort of Kahoot you want to have. And again, you can also access the question bank in here to search for topics such as presentation. And it will come up with a lot of questions for you, which of course you can check the answers for, and then you can add that to your Kahoot. You can also use the question generator, either by typing in a topic, which again, will use the AI tool to generate a topic for you, or we can go back to that and upload a PDF. So for example, maybe I want to upload some information how to do excellent events. And there we go. I have a nice PDF on that. Not all of the information I necessarily want to include on this, so I can select which pages are relevant and include those in my Kahoot. And as you can see, how quick it is just to generate questions from a PDF. For the most part, these questions are quiz type questions and some slides. So it really depends on what sort of a Kahoot you want to create. Yeah. And as I said, you can move things around like Lego and add slides, etc. And within the Kahoot itself, of course, you can change the settings on that depending on what you want to do. Make sure you give your Kahoot a good title. So if you're collaborating in a team space, that's easy to share with other people. A good description. It's optional, but very helpful. something eye-catching for a cover image, where you want to save it. I recommend the team folders for collaboration. If you're not fussed on the Kahoot lobby music, which I love, you can, of course, put any lobby video you want in here from YouTube, and you can choose when that video starts and ends. And of course, do you want this to be available to duplicate, etc. Okay. I'm just going to have a look in the chat to see if there's any question. Does anyone need a license for folks to get into team space? Yes, yes and no. Most people need a license to collaborate within the team space, but of course you can have groups within your team space to invite, for example, free members. But yeah. Okay, so if I am happy with this Kahoot, I can save it, and then I can choose what I want to do with that. So I can start the Kahoot right now in a live setting, or simply click done. And when I've done that, then of course I get the option to either assign or start the Kahoot. To assign a Kahoot, really, really easy. You just click the assign button, set the parameters. I recommend if this is something you want a lot of people to play, you make the visibility available to everybody. And then you set the parameters for your assignment. And once that's done, then of course you can share your assignment either by inviting people using the URL. You could print out the QR code, put it wherever you like, maybe in the canteen at work or wherever you feel, or share the game pin in whatever manner you like. And of course, you can always go back and change the parameters of your assignment. If you're looking for more inspiration on Kahoots that you would like to create, we also have a Discover section. As I mentioned before, we at Kahoot at Work are creating lots of resources that are free for professionals. So I highly recommend that you go in here and have a look around. There's lots of really good resources in here that you can use. So you can duplicate the content, you can host it and assign it. And another very important thing that I'd like to draw your attention to while we're here is the help section. So there are two ways that you can get into the help section. You can either go to help at the bottom of the screen here, where you will find frequently asked questions and suggested articles. This is a great place to go if you want to deep dive into some topics you want to know more about. Of course, suggest a feature. We want to hear your feedback. We love to hear back from people using the product. And of course, the Help and Support Center. So this has been revamped and it looks amazing. As you can see, one of the most popular things is getting started with Kahoot. So this is a great place to start in learning how to just get started with Kahoot, suggest a feature. And fun fact, we'll also be having a bit of a community coming to the forefront here, where you can meet with other members who are maybe being onboarded to Kahoot just like you, or even just to share questions. Yeah, so in here, you can see there's a business and company user discussion board. This is populated by a lot of our customers. So if anybody wants to come here, I can post this in the chat. It's a great place to come and learn about the community. So I'm just going to post it in there now for anybody that wants. And my colleague Lars, who is a digital CS, should be very happy that I posted that in there for today. Yeah. Okay. And I think that concludes the navigation of the Kahoot platform. Does anybody want to post any questions in the chat while I'm here? It's okay. If anything comes up, you can just, oh, there you go. When embedding Kahoot in a PowerPoint, can you post the QR code? Or do you have to click? Oh, okay. So there's quite a lot of stuff there. I think I have a player identifier. I can come back to these questions afterwards if that's okay. Yeah. Yeah. Kahoot is available in different languages like French, but obviously you need to author your Kahoots in French if you like. Yes, embed Kahoot into Google Slides. These are things that I can come back to after Jeremy and Samantha. And maybe something that we can do in a future webinar. Okay, so we can go back to the Kahoot. I hope you haven't logged out of this. We can move on. So there is a little bit of a quiz. There might be some points for this, but if you were paying attention, you should do fine. Okay, this is double points, so be quick. Self-paced Kahoots would be a great tool for pre-training evaluation, post-training surveys, non-trainer-led knowledge items. But you can't select more than one. I hope I didn't say that too late. Okay, great. Well, yes, you can indeed use self-paced Kahoots or assignments for all of the above, in case you didn't know. So it's really, really good for surveying somebody before an event, pre-training evaluation. So I hope you're going to try that out. It's great. Okay, so I try to make this Kahoot quite bite-sized today. So apart from the questions in the chat, is there anything else? Yeah, how do you get the question shown in the Kahoot app? Previously, I was only able to, yeah, okay. I can quickly go to this. In the settings, you can see show questions and answers. So players can then see on their own device what the questions are. And this is very good for accessibility as well. Maybe you're in a room with a smaller screen. Maybe you're just playing from your phone. So yeah. Yes, Kahoot leaderboard can be used across multiple sessions. You can use that for tournaments. So that could be something that we could cover in a future session. Yeah. And you can get a total at the end of the session. So I can, if you combine the reports, then you can see that. So yeah. Yes, it will be emailed to you tomorrow and it will be available on YouTube as well, Agnieszka. Yeah, fantastic. Is the presentation you're showing available as well? That's a really good question. I wonder if I could make this Kahoot public. So Virginia, let's see if I can do that. So, but of course you can contact me at leanne@kahoot.com as well if you want to get the presentation. Put that in chat. There we go. I can see if I can share that with you afterwards. You're welcome. Okay, so I'm going to move on here. And yeah, I guess the next question is, how well do you feel you know Kahoot now? So have you learned something new today? Is it the same as before the webinar? I hope not. I hope there was something new today. It is a basic training, so maybe you were too pro for this webinar, and that's okay. If you feel like a challenge, you'll have the deep dive coming up, and I'll show you the dates of that next. And yes, we have a lot of gifts available in our image library, if you didn't notice. Okay. I don't think we need much more time for this, so I think I can skip straight to the answers. Let's see. Okay, so for some of you, slightly better. So maybe it could be good to have a look at a more in-depth webinar, and a few of you a lot better, but nobody same as before. So I'll take that as a win for today. And if there was one takeaway that you got from today's session, please write it down. Maybe it's that you can use cool GIFs. This dog is cute. He comes up in every webinar now in the 101 series because we love him. We should give him a name. He could be our mascot, maybe. Yeah, but just something that you learned today that you felt was good, bad, or ugly. think that's good. 9 of you have already given some feedback, and that's great. In such a short space of time. That's what I love about this question type. Awesome. So let's see. It's so easy. I love that. Yeah, Kahoot definitely has more possibilities than you realize. And that's the whole point of these webinars. I think a lot of people think it's just a quiz. It can actually be used for many more things, and it's fun. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I love the gifts too. Q&A. I can post my questions and answers. This is fantastic. And this is all feedback that I'm generating from you guys. So thank you so much for sharing. So for those of you who maybe felt that you didn't learn that much more in today's Kahoot, I have good news for you. We have another deep dive webinar coming up on April 10th at 9 a.m. And this is especially great for those of you who want to engage employees anywhere with the knowledge they need to succeed. So we might be focusing a little bit on training. There'll definitely be pro tips and tricks in there for those of you who are already pretty knowledgeable about Kahoot. So without further ado, I would like to say thank you very much for joining us today. It has been a pleasure. You've been a great participants, both in the chat and during the game. So I would like to wish you happy Kahooting.